Hey everyone, thanks for hopping on tonight's team call. So, super quick announcement. Make sure you're still taking part in the Take Action Challenge. Do your Success Club tracker, add people to your bod group. And it's that simple. I didn't listen to yesterday's National Wake Up Call or the winners, but I will have to catch up on Wednesday. Hopefully, Lisa, did you look anyone on our team win?
No, they didn't announce it yesterday.
Oh,
They're they
okay.
do it. They're doing it next week.
Okay. So keep doing that. And then other quick announcement is we have our team summit in Atlantic City. We have two spots that opened up. It is July 14th through I think the 17th or 18th, July 14th through the 18th. It's in Atlantic City. I believe the cost is like, don't quote me on this, maybe 450 around there. But if you're interested, just send me a message and I can definitely get you better details on that. But we have two spots at the house that we are renting, and Summit is for you new coaches. Summit is normally like in a cool place in a cool city, but with COVID, they're doing everything virtual. But as a team, we decided to get together, rent a house in Atlantic City, and do the trainings and all that fun stuff together. So July 14th through the 18th, if you would like to come and you want more specifics, just send me a message ASAP. All right, so tonight's team call is my awesome success partner. I mean, I feel like I've been a big, like the past year, I've been like all over the place, but she's always super helpful, even when I'm like out in space half the time, anyways. But me and Ashley became success partner. If you're a new coach, success partners are just somebody that maybe they're up your upline, normally probably not, but it's somebody that's on the same level as you. So another coach that is just, they have the same goals, they are pushing for the same things in life, and then you just connect with them, right? um, and they don't, you don't poo poo together, so you don't complain together. Sometimes I complain to Ashley, but it's what are we going to do about it, how are we going to figure this out, or hey, this is what I'm doing with my team, you like, what's working for you, so we just shoot ideas off of each other. So Ashley's not on our team. She I found her through a corporate training, and I don't know, we just said hi and poof, we just started talking. So sometimes, I mean, I think having a success partner is great. I went through, it's kind of like dating. I went through many success partners before I found Ashley. Um, and I think not the better ones are people from different teams, but like everyone on this team, like we know all the things that we do, right? It's nice to get a different perspective from another coach. And that's what is so awesome with Beachbody. Everyone's so willing and open to share everything. So in the champions page or in the trainings that corporate does, or when we get to go to live events again, connect with people, because you don't know how you can help them and how they can help you, and how you can kind of move your businesses forward together. So without further ado, Ashley, don't quote me, 6-star, we're gonna go at 6-star diamond, premier coach last year. And it's so funny because our businesses pretty much like line up exactly, like everything that we go through. It's like the same on paper and all that stuff. Anyways, her team is awesome. She had a few elite coaches this past year as well, and she's doing really, really great on bringing on new coaches. And obviously, if you follow her, you know why. So Ashley, thanks so much for hopping on, and can't wait to hear what you got for us tonight.
Hey everyone, I am Ashley Lasher. Yeah, so just to cover, I know Rose said I was a 6-star. I did go into qualification for a 6-star, but I didn't hold it. I am a 5-star.
You're a 6-star.
A 6-star. That's why
I
I
care.
can only go into that. I don't think any of that stuff truly really matters. It's important to have a goal, but I don't think saying I'm a 5-star or 6-star makes me any better than a brand new coach at all. So I like to put that out there too. I haven't been in the business for 7 years. I started as a discount coach. The only reason I signed up is because I wanted a discount. I didn't have any intention of working the business. I really had no idea what coaching even was. But my coach had me inside of her coach group on Facebook, as well as her uplines coach group. And just me seeing them talk about all the things that they were doing, or maybe a credit card that they paid off, or small things like being able to go to the grocery store and paying for the groceries and not having to worry about it. Just because I was the type of person that was so broke, I would go to the grocery store with my little tally, my pen, and I could only spend $20 for the week. And I had to figure it out. So, little things like that stuck out to me. And I would say after it was like a month or two of being a discount coach, and really the way that I started feeling with focusing on my health and my fitness, I wanted to share that feeling with other people. So that's what really made me start working the business. Um, Let me go ahead and share my screen actually while I get into this. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. I'm going to leave it like this just so I can see you guys on the side too. So I'm going to dive into it. I am going to be talking about recruiting and onboarding working coaches in your business. I know that's like the huge, huge question. Like, how do you get working coaches? I want working coaches. I struggle getting working coaches. I feel like that's the huge, huge thing that everyone talks about. All coaches talk about, all coaches want working coaches. They don't understand how to get them. And Rose and I struggled that for the longest time. I feel like we would always, I feel like, how long have we been success partners? Remy's 4. So I feel like we started,
Like 5?
was I pregnant? I think maybe.
No, I don't think you were pregnant yet. I think it was like the year before.
And she'll be 5 at the end of this year. So 5.5 years, 6
Yeah.
years maybe. So a long time. That's crazy. A long time. And so what was I saying? Mom brain.
We've been doing this for a while, and we're like always like, we need new coaches. We need new
Okay.
coaches.
Yes. So every time we would talk, that's like the theme. Like I'm doing good here, but I can't find I struggle with finding working coaches, or they start and they're so good for like a month and then they disappear. And I feel like a lot of coaches struggle with that. And I did, and know Rose did for a long time. And I feel like I started switching this around actually this past January. I just kept learning from other coaches and I started implementing different things. And just this one thing I'm going to share with you guys just stuck with me. And it's actually worked really well for me and my team. And I want to throw it out there too that what I'm doing may not work for you, but try it out. If what you're doing right now is not working, try it out. And just like finding a success partner, it's going to take time to really figure out what works for you. Just like with a success partner, it takes time to find the right coach that maybe mesh with you and will work with you and your personality. So if this doesn't work, that's okay, but give it time, give it a few months, and try something else. It's going to take time to figure out what is going to work for you, your business, especially because we're all so different. We all have different personalities, different things that we bring to the table. So one thing may not work for the other, and that's okay. So first, why is it important to focus on recruiting and onboarding with your team? One, why wouldn't you want to share this amazing opportunity with others? Even if you are a brand new coach and you haven't seen any of maybe the financial success from it yet, you're here for a reason. I know when I started coaching, I was here because I was like, wow, I feel so freaking good from just starting to be active more and really focusing on my health. And because I didn't really share my story with you guys, where it came from before I started working on my health and fitness, I was really depressed and I was working 3 jobs. I was a single mom to one child. I have 3 now, but my oldest, I was a single mom to him. And I was working 3 jobs. I was depressed. I wasn't taking care of myself. We were eating fast food every day. I was drinking Mountain Dew for breakfast. Like I wasn't focusing on my health at all. So when I say I was so in love with how great I was feeling, as you can imagine, when you actually, start taking care of your health and you're not drinking the Mountain Dew for breakfast anymore and you're fueling your body with good things, I felt so good. It wasn't really about the physical transformation for me. It was like the mental. I just felt amazing. I started feeling happy and confident again. And that was huge for me coming from being so depressed. So I wanted to share that feeling with other people. I wanted to bring, because I know there's so many depressed, especially right now, so many, depressed people out there for different aspects of their life, and moms that are not confident anymore. They're putting themselves on the bottom of their list all the time. And I wanted to share that with other women, other moms, other people, to start feeling good again, start putting themselves at the top of their list. So even if you're a brand new coach, you're here for a reason. So for me, it was, this is an amazing opportunity, whether I was making money from it or not yet. So why wouldn't you want to share this opportunity with other people? Number 2, team bonus. Once you're an Emerald coach, you start getting team bonuses. They may not be massive right away, but you start getting them, and you can start building them so they're consistently, where you can get them every week. And the more you build your team, the more you start recruiting and bringing in working coaches, that's when that team bonus steadily increases every week. It starts becoming consistent every week. You start getting more in your team bonus every week as well. So the more that you do that, the more that it increases. And a lot of us are here because, and you guys are, you want this topic because you do want to make more money, right? You want the full potential of this business. It's okay to want to make more money. There's nothing wrong with it. You can help people and still make money from it. So it's super important to focus on that, building that team to increase that team bonus too. Real quick at that too, because you can, for example, for the way that I want to live, I've been working from home full time now for almost 6 years. July will be 6 years. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was just working off of commissions. And if you were just getting commissions, for the life that I want to live, I would have to onboard a lot of people every single week to get that, good paycheck that I want. Team bonus, you don't have to focus on that. I hit very basic Success Club numbers. That's me onboarding, very few people every month. And it's because I've built such a solid team of, working coaches in my downline to build up that team bonus. So that's important right there. Number 3, the community you build changes so many things in your life. And I feel like a lot of you would agree with that. The community in this business, in your team, is unlike no other. It has changed my life in so many ways to have that good community, that good, sisterhood, brotherhood, all of that within my team, because I know I had very few friends growing up, but I never had anything like this. Everyone is so positive majority of the time. If you're struggling with something, somebody's there to help you. I don't know. It's amazing, the community. I can't even explain it, but I feel like you guys know what I mean with that. The community is unlike no other, and you building that changes so many things in your life, but also other people. So again, back to number 1, why wouldn't you want to share, that amazing opportunity? Sorry, my 4-year-old wants me to put another dress on her real quick. Got it? There you go. Okay. So how to attract working coaches? First, you need to be the coach you are looking for. I go through this all the time with not only myself, but also my coaches as well, my leaders. That's like the first thing I ask them when they say, I'm struggling finding working coaches. And I always say, what are you doing? Are you being the coach that you are looking for? Are you hitting Success Club? Are you consistently working? Are you partaking in the Take Challenge that we have going on, marking those daily things off? Are you treating this business like a business? And number 1, which should be on top of your list, are you being proof of the product's work? And a lot of times, those 4 questions that I ask them, they are maybe only doing one of them. And a lot of times, being proof that the products work is not one of the ones that they're doing. And so you always want to put those questions when you're asking yourself, like, I'm trying to find working coaches. And even when I go through that still to this day, I sit down and I ask myself, like, are you doing this? What are you not doing? And a lot of times it's because maybe I stopped doing a lot of things consistently. And it's when you sit down and ask yourself those things, you can usually figure out what it is. Maybe you're not really inviting. You're doing everything else, but you're not really inviting. Or maybe you are inviting, but you're not talking about what the coaching opportunity is really, maybe in your stories or your post, or hitting pain points, all those things in your post, which I'll talk about too in a couple minutes. But always ask yourself that when you hear it from one of your coaches, or maybe you're thinking that right now, like, are you doing those things and being the coach you are also looking for? Okay, so number 2, with how to attract working coaches, have a consistent plan. My plan is very simple. Every month, half of the month, I'm inviting to a challenge group. And then the other half, I'm inviting to the coaching opportunity. I used to hear, I think it was Melanie Mitro, always say this in trainings. And I always would write it down, but I never, ever stuck to anything like that. It was always like, kind of like spur of the moment, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to start talking about my virtual gym, even though we start in 2 days. And I need to hit Success Club. So I'm going to start talking about it to get people in there. And I would quickly throw something together. And then coaching opportunity, I would barely talk about it. I would invite people in personal messages every so often, or maybe if one of my clients, I felt like they were going to be a really great coach, I would approach it that way. But I realized I really wasn't doing it very often and not consistent at all. So that's when Melanie Mitro was chirping in my ear. And I was like, okay, I need to have some sort of consistent plan. So I'm always inviting to something the entire month. And I always know what I'm inviting to. And then also, I correlate my post and my stories based around what part of that month I'm in. So if I'm in the first half of the month and maybe I'm inviting to the coaching opportunity, in my stories and my posts, I will talk about the coaching opportunity, what it's done for me, hitting those pain points again, which I'll share in a couple minutes. But that's what I'm talking about. And then maybe it's the second half of the month where I am inviting just to my next challenge group. Then I'm only talking about in my posts and my stories about that next challenge group every single day. So that way I just know. So for me, it's helped a lot because I know, like, okay, right now we are inviting to my challenge group. So every day I know to talk about something for that challenge group or that coaching opportunity, if that's what I'm talking about. So having that consistent plan really, really helps as well. And number 3, so this is where I'm going to dive into the post. This is where you need to talk about it. You can invite people all the time, but you really need to start talking about, hitting those pain points. So over here, we're going to talk about your post. I always hit specific pain points. And what do you love about it with the coaching opportunity? So I kind of shared.
Hey, Ash, really quick. Can you just share that? Because it's super hard. Yeah, it's just super hard to read.
Is that better? I know I can see it a little bit better now.
A little bit.
Is there a way to make it bigger?
Well, how your picture is on this side and then the full screen, or maybe it's just my computer.
I know I see you guys on this side.
We can zoom in on our own phones.
I can also save these with you after if you want to post them for everyone.
Okay, that would work. You know what? I had it minimized a little bit on my side, so I was able to maximize it.
No, you're fine. I was wondering if you guys would even be able to see these.
And Jen said if you're on your phone, you can just do that thing magical. All right, sorry.
No, you're good. I'll read a couple of them too. But yeah, I'll share these PowerPoint with Rose right after too, so you guys can have it. But in your post, you want to talk about it. And I always tell everyone, hit those. I am not the type of person that likes to, or type of coach, which I used to do it all the time, but it never worked for me, where I would post, I'm looking for 5 new coaches that want to work this business, blah, 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 blah. To me, those never stuck out to me, but I did them anyways, thinking like I kind of had to. But then I realized, because then I started diving into like my own story and really sharing pain points of my own life, of where I came from in my past. And ever since I started doing that, it actually helps a lot, whether I'm talking about the coaching opportunity or even in my challenge groups. So for example, this first one was actually kind of recent. The picture was nothing special. It was just me holding an envelope. And I said something like, "This may not mean much to you, but holy fuck, this means everything to me. Late last night, our realtor asked me if I could write a check for our deposit for the house we just got and mail it out by the morning and done. In the past, I wouldn't have even qualified to buy a freaking house. 2, when I was asked to write a check for a big deposit, I would have been stressing hardcore trying to find that money. But today, I just wrote it and sent it. Feels amazing to have that money when I need it and still have a big cushion in my savings, blah, blah, blah." So that's hitting a pain point. It's sharing my past of how I would have never been able to do that. But because of this business, I've been able to do that. So it's hitting a pain point. And every time I do a post like this where I'm hitting any type of pain point, I always have at least one person that reaches out to me and like, wow, thank you for sharing that. I feel like I'm in that same position right now. And then we just start a conversation. So this next one, it was just a picture of me. Again, nothing special. And it says, "Don't think there's anything special about you, question mark. Think again. I actually thought the same when I first started coaching. Like, I'm no special. Why would people watch me? Why would they read my posts? Why would they join me over others? I bring no value." That was until I actually focused on me. That's when I actually learned who I was and things I loved about me, which happened to be what others love too. Blah, blah, blah. I won't read all of it. But that is hitting a pain point and also talking about an objection. How many times do you guys get an objection where, oh, I see so many coaches, they're amazing, like I'm no special? I get that all the time. And so I'm kind of hitting that objection, but also talking about the pain point of those things, kind of what I did, like I focused on me. And then I kind of went into a little bit more of what coaching has done for me. It's allowed me to realize I am me, I'm different, I'm not like anybody else, which makes me special, which makes Rose special, which makes Lisa special, all of you guys, because you're not like anybody else. You are you for a reason and you have your own qualities. So that's what coaching has taught me. And so I hit that pain point and went into why I love coaching. So that's another one as well. And then I can't really see this other one because these things always mess me up. I feel like I can never move you guys that are over here or anything. But again, I'll share that with Rose and you guys can look in that. I think, oh, okay. I'll kind of just share. So I kind of just talked about how I was sitting there this morning working and snugging my youngest babe and talking about how thankful I am for this business, because I used to always want to be able to work from home as a mom. And I would always sit at my computer at my desk job and search work from home jobs that are legit. And I would always do that. And then I found this and I just kind of, touched on, that pain point. How many people right now do you, I bet, sit at their desk or at home and search, Google work from home jobs that are legit? A lot of people, I bet, do that. So that's hitting that pain point too. So when you're talking about your post, think about your past. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic that something happened to you. Anything from your past matters. So think about that and any pain point that you've changed or that coaching has helped you. Has it helped you feel better about yourself? Has it helped you become a better person, a better mother? Any of those things. Those are pain points that you can talk about and kind of talk and then go into how you were able to, improve that or change that. Okay, so now in stories, so that was post. So now we're going to go into talking about it in your stories. I couldn't, let me make this bigger again. So this is the big as I can get right here, but I wanted to share this little first thing. So again, hit those pain points, even in your stories, what you love about coaching. I wanted to share this first picture on the left. I actually brought up on my phone so I can actually kind of read each one. But I wanted to share how, there were a bunch of clips, which is why you want to add text, because a lot of people don't really listen to it. They read more of it in the stories. But I was talking about an objection, and I wanted to share this one because I had so many people reach out to me and either tell me, I love that you definitely aren't like that, and I love that about you, or that they were interested in this because they thought exactly what I was talking about, and glad that I cleared it up that it wasn't like that. So what I said in a few of them was going through some of my convos now and just realized that 80% of people that are interested in doing what I do as a coach tell me that they aren't a salesman and wouldn't do well doing what I do. I am not, sorry if there's kids around. I am not a motherfucking salesman. A salesman is someone who sells you a product and never talks to you again. That's not me. I don't sell any bullshit products and never talk to you again. I'm a paid problem solver. I get paid to help you solve problems or grow in areas you need to grow in, whether it's physical, mental, or financial. I help you do that. And then I go into like the physical, financial part and kind of a little bit what I love about what I do. So just an example there, just talking in your stories, my biggest tip for you guys is to be real. Say what you want to say. So kind of like I said, I'm not a motherfucking salesman. Like that's how I would talk. And before, when I first started coaching, I felt like I couldn't do those things. I felt like just because I really didn't know yet, and I wasn't really comfortable in my own skin yet when I first started coaching. So you have to be you, be real. I know a lot of people, love that about me, is that I will say it like it is, and I will share everything that I love about coaching. I will tell them straight up about anything that they want to hear. And that's how you want to portray it in your stories too. Just, talk, be who you are. Be who you are. Talk about those pain points, those objections. So this is a very good example of an objection. The objection of someone saying, I'm not a salesman. So anytime you guys do get objections, write them down. Write them down. I keep them in my my notes section on my phone. So when it is a time that I'm talking about the coaching opportunity in my stories, I will bring up those notes and say, okay, I had the objection of I don't want to be a salesman. So I'm going to talk about it today in my stories. And then you can keep talking about different ones every day until you switch gears and start talking about a challenge group. So that's what I do. I always go in, I share those things. Also, another one too, just to give another example. One day I shared about how just something simple like, hey, I just had to share this because I was thinking about it. I just got home from going to the gas station and it sounds silly, but I filled up my gas tank full, and it just makes me feel very grateful for what I do and get to do, because in the past, before starting this business, I was always just filling $5 to $10, maybe $10, but usually $5 to $10 because that's all I had. That's all I had to work with between getting groceries and everything else and trying to pay my bills. And I'm so thankful that, I was able to do that today. Something simple, because like I said, those things stuck out to me because those were the things that I struggled with. So that's a pain point that I hit of not being able to fill up your gas tank. So that's another example. And then over on these two other pictures for stories, I do this every single month when I am talking about my coaching opportunity. I make a little pretty picture, and I do this all right in the Instagram story. I don't make it on PicMonkey or anything. I literally just do it right in the story, and then I just save it and keep using it. So this says May Business Mentorship. I always do 5 spots. And So in the past, I would never be strict. I would be like, oh, let's add in 5 more. But with this, because when it comes to finding working coaches, you want those good working coaches, right? The ones that are going to work the business, um, and not waste your time. So when it comes to the coaching opportunity, I started being very strict. I only am asking for 5 people. And when I am talking to my stories too, I always like to share as well that I I share what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, a hustler. I'm looking for somebody that, wants a change. I'm looking for somebody that is teachable. Like all those different things, I share those in my stories as well. So if they're like, oh, that sounds like me, maybe I can do this. I don't want somebody that is not going to show up, somebody that is going to run away and ignore me when things get tough. Like those are the things that I don't want. So that's what I'm going to start. That's what I share in my stories when I am talking about this. Um, so that way you are pinpointing those working coaches that you are looking for. So I always share a picture like this. I always put on there, those 5 spots. And I always say, it's that time of the month, opening up 5 spots in my business mentorship. In my business mentorship, which I'll share too, I do the first 2 weeks focusing on them. So I always share this because for me, a lot of people are scared to start coaching because they're not at their perfect transformation yet. So I always like to share this that the first 2 weeks of my mentorship, we only focus on you. We only focus on you, getting you in that routine of staying active, focusing on your meal plan, all those things. And then the last 2 weeks, we dive into the business part. So that way it's less scary for them as well. And they know that. So I make sure they know in my stories that that's what it's all about. And then every time I always like to add a poll on there too. I love adding any type of interaction. So adding a poll saying, I'm interested in this. What is this? Whatever you want to add in there. And then every time I do add a name on there, I throw it in my stories because it gets people interested. Like I added Ashley, and then the next day I added somebody else. That way I can keep sharing it through those 2 weeks that I'm talking about my coaching mentorship. Because the more, just like when you go in the store, you see something, you may not buy it, you keep hearing about it, and then maybe the 10th time you finally buy it. It's the same thing with this. Somebody is going to keep seeing it every day for 2 weeks while I'm talking about the coaching opportunity. And maybe by, the 7th time seeing it, they're like, okay, what is this? So that's what I like to do that. Okay, so number 4 with how to attract working coaches is I like to share this in my challenge groups as well. So in your challenge groups, you want to post about it. I post about it monthly. And then I reach out to clients personally. Obviously, if I feel like they're going to make a great coach, I reach out to them personally and, share that opportunity with them. But also in my virtual gym, I constantly share the hype of coaching and new things happening for coaches. Anything, like the new things happening coming up, and how this is like the best time to start coaching with all these new things we have coming. The body with the daily live classes, the mixed bike, all those things. Anytime maybe one of our coaches wins something off the take challenge challenge, I'll post it in our virtual gym just so they can see like, oh my gosh, like this person won this trip, this person won $500. Like that's so cool. I know for me that would have stuck out to me, to constantly see that like, oh, like they're constantly being challenged and they have all these different things going on and you can win this and that. That is attracting them a little bit more too. So just sharing the hype of new things of coaching in there as well. But this little screenshot that I shared, I have this pinned to the top of my virtual gym, and I just always have it pinned there. Aside from posting about it monthly and sharing, constantly sharing things, coaching things in there already, I just always have that pinned. So that way new people in there always see that too. And I always will tag someone in it as well who I think might, or who wanted more interested or more info on the opportunity. So that way, when I am tagging somebody in there, it kind of brings it right back up on the feed. But it's just something simple, just saying I'm on the lookout for a handful of women that potentially want to coach like myself. My best coaches came from my virtual gyms, yada, yada, yada. And then I just tag in our sneak peek. We have an ongoing sneak peek into coaching on Facebook. So I just tag that in there so they can check that out anytime they want. So I always have that pinned at the top. Okay, so now going into onboarding, you have your new coaches, but now what? Now what are you going to do? So I'm going to share my onboarding system. I feel like it's very simple. I feel like in the past I made it very complicated, and it was a lot of things. And I feel like that scares people away. And I've been learning from my trainings right now that we have to keep it simple. Right out from the gate, we have to keep it simple, like XYZ, good. Simple as that. So that way, when we are doing that, they're like, okay, like I want to get going. This is simple. And then it makes them want to get going and, share it with people that they're signing up. Okay, this is simple, and keep doing it and keep doing it. Because if they come in and they're overwhelmed and it's just too much, they're like, okay, I cannot do what Ashley is doing. This is like so much. So that's why I started making it very simple. So one, I send a getting started email. I send it through, I wish I could share it with you. I don't think I can. I share it through Flowdesk. It's an automated system. So as soon as I get a new coach, I put them into my automated system on Flowdesk, and it automatically sends them my emails that I set up. I only set up 3 emails in there. So the first email is just introducing myself. I link my team page, and then I also link my 5-day business mentorship that is going to be starting, and they can add themselves into it. And then I also attach let me share it with you. Can you guys see this okay? I'll share this too with Rose. But this is my getting started checklist. I don't think I can make it any bigger, but I share this in that first email. So it's just a little checklist of getting them started. I have them pick their path, launch path, which it means they're ready to go, ready to run, and then a slow and steady path. They're learn as they go at their own pace, all of that. So that way they kind of it's less overwhelming. They know they can take this one path where it's like, okay, I'm all in, let's run, let's go. But they also know that they can take like, I'm a little, maybe scared. I want to take this at my own pace, slow and steady. They can take that path as well. So I give them the option of both. And that way as well, I know where their head is at. I know how to coach them. If they're ready, I'm ready to run with them. If they're slow and steady, I am not going to be, as hard on them. I'm going to go at their own pace. And then I have on there to set their goals. A financial goal, I want them to know, like, you could make money in this business. So let's make a financial goal. A 1-year health and fitness goal. I think that's super important to push it out there rather than like, oh, in the next couple of months, I want to hit this. It takes time, and we have to remember that. So their 1-year goal. And then their first business goal, we talk about Emerald Coach. And I kind of go into what it looks like. And then at the bottom, I did your daily to-do list, which is pretty much everything that is on the Coach Online Office Tracker, because I want them to know this is all you have to do every day consistently to see growth in this business. So I keep it as simple as that because I want them to know from the start, these are the to-dos. These are the to-dos. This is what we focus on. And they get in the consistency of that, the habit of that. So I add that into that first getting started email. The second email that goes out 2 days later, and it is, what is it? It is, so the first one is that checklist, link to my team page, link to my 5-day business mentorship, which I'll share with you guys as well. That second one is about the codes. I know before we were getting 3 $10 off codes for new coaches. I think now it's one $10, and then once they start that bod group. So I talk about getting that one code, and it's just simple, like, let's find a friend or, someone that wants to do this with you, and let's, give them this code. So that way they know they have that code to use, and it encourages them and gets them excited to want to find a friend to do it with them. And then that third email goes out 2 days after that, and it's just a check-in email. Check-in email that just says, how are you doing? It's just a little form that I created myself. So I ask how they're doing, if they have added themselves into our team page, and if they have gotten everything done on that checklist. And that's it. And then I have my month mentorship chat thread. So that picture that you saw that I shared in my stories of my May mentorship with the 5 people, that's a chat thread that I do. So because it's just 5 people. Sometimes it's just 2 people. It's not always 5 people. Sometimes it's 1 person. So I have a chat thread, and like I said, that it's a month long. The first 2 weeks is really just me getting them into a routine, helping them pick a program out, helping them, dive into their nutrition more, and helping them get in the consistency of doing that, but also sharing it on their social media. Because I've learned that if you're not consistent with those things, then usually your business is kind of not going good as well. So that's where I want them to start focusing on that first, getting in the habit of those things. And then the last 2 weeks, we focus on business. We focus on that business mentorship, that getting started email, all those things, and the consistency of how important that daily to-do list is, all those. So first 2 weeks is all them. Last 2 weeks is just strictly business. Number 3, 5-day business mentorship. That is ran on, let me see if I have it up here. I have it ran on Facebook, and I run this with one of my other leaders. We do it every other week. So usually it's just 2 times a month, and it's just 5 days, and it's super simple. And they can do this at any time. So whenever the next one is starting, that's when they're going to jump into it. It's so simple that they wouldn't be overwhelmed. It's just them introducing themselves, them figuring out, their 5 things that are about them. Because I know a lot of coaches feel like they don't bring anything important to the table. So we always have them go this on the second day. It's okay, figure out 5 things that make you you. And then we tell them like that's you. That's what you're going to be posting about. That's what, your social media is going to be all about, is sharing things about those 5 things that make you you. So we go through those things, and our goal in this mentorship is to get them to Emerald. That's our whole goal, is to get them to Emerald. And we always have a prize. So everyone that reaches Emerald by that last 5th day, we put them into a drawing, and they win a prize, something small, like it could be a package of headbands, a cute little, cup, anything, nothing major, just something small, just to get them excited. And then once they finish the 5-day business mentorship, I ask them to hop on a call with me, and I just make it 10 to 15 minutes. I used to have people hop on calls, and it would last like an hour, just because my personality, I would be like, okay, they just want to keep talking, I'm just going to keep talking. And then it would just go into left field with a call that long. So I like to strictly keep it 10 to 15 minutes, and it's just me getting to know them, like asking, what their goal is, going over that checklist that I originally set them in the email. If they have any questions, I want to answer them all on that call. And then we go into what their next 30 days is going to look like. If they hit Emerald already, what are we going to focus on next? And it's all dependent on what their goals are. It's not, my goals. If their goal is that, okay, they hit Emerald, they want to push to Diamond, then that's where, that's what we're going to go off. We're going to make their goals for the next week for those next 30 days. I like to break them down. So like, okay, this first week, let's focus on hitting Success Club. And then that second week, we will touch base. Okay, you hit Success Club, let's focus on this. So I like to break it down, but once they do finish that 5-day business mentorship, we have that one-on-one call. If they don't finish it, I don't ask to have a call because I feel I've been trying to get very strict with it. So if they are not taking the time to finish it, then I'm not going to reach out and have a call with them if they haven't done any of the things. If they've done the things and they didn't reach Emerald, that's okay. I don't care if they reached Emerald. I just want them to do the things and finish it, because then to me, I know that they are a working coach or potentially are a working coach if they're actually finishing a 5-day business mentorship that's actually, super simple. Okay, that is all I had. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. Hopefully that was enough and not too much.
It was perfect. And some things I want to just reiterate is, and Ashley said all of this, is be you. If you don't talk like Ashley, then don't say those things. But if you do, then don't be afraid to just be yourself. You're not looking for everybody to join. You're looking for people like you to join. So don't think like Ashley's story, because I used to think this in the beginning too. Like if I would see like Melanie Mitro, I'm like, oh, my story doesn't look like hers. Like, how could I do this? So don't look at like Ashley's and be like, well, I don't have that kind of story. Good, you don't need her story. You need your story. So think in your past, like what post did your coach make that was a pain point for you? Why? What was that decision? And that's what you can pull from, right? And sometimes it's not pain. Some people actually will go to like pleasure. So what goal did your coach write about that made you interested in this? So you can do pain and pleasure. I know everyone always talks about the pain point, but I think pleasure points can motivate other people as well. And then if you're a new coach, you're like, well, how do I start? Like, I don't have a team. You just have to talk about it, right? Like walk the walk before you even, do it, even before you have a team. Use our team as a success, even though you might not even have a single coach. Like our team is huge. Like use our story, use, like our team calls, like take a picture of this, like all of those little things add up. And most people don't know a difference, right? It's how you come across and your confidence through this that people are going to join your team, even if you technically don't kind of sort of have one yet, right? And Ashley said to use third-party tools. Do you want to explain what you mean by that?
Kind of like what you were saying with use your team's stuff, use their trainings, their team pages, use their stories. Like those are all third-party tools. Utilize those. You don't have to recreate anything. You don't have to have anything of your own. And if you feel like you don't have any crazy story or you're still trying to figure it out, then utilize all those things. It doesn't have to be always from you.
Yeah, and sometimes it does take a while to figure out, like, why are you here? Like deep down, like that takes work and you'll figure it out, but you have to do the work to get there. Does anyone have any questions for Ashley or anything that they want to add? Nobody?
I have a question. The getting started email that you mentioned, it's a series, right? You said it was 3 of them. Can you repeat what they were again?
Yeah, the first one is, so I have all of them go 2 days apart. So the first one is the first day they sign up. That is just me introducing myself. I also link in my team page and then also the 5-day mentorship page. So that way they can just add themselves. And then 2 days later, they get that second email. And that is about the coupon code. So they still get the $10 off coupon code. And then they do get more with the Beachbody On Demand once they start a group. But I don't mention that. I just mention, you should have gotten a $10 off promo code in your email from Beachbody. Let's find a friend or family member to do this with you. And then that third one is another 2 days later, and it's just a check-in form, asking them how they're doing, if they have any questions, have they gotten started on anything, just a few different questions, just to check in.
And the checklist that you shared, when does that one go out?
First one.
With the first one, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question. Are you only inviting your current challengers and then anyone who like responds to your poll in your stories to coach?
Yeah, pretty much. If I created a post or any of my stories that I did that day, when I am inviting to the coaching opportunity, I'll invite my story watchers and then anyone that liked that specific post, if I did do a post on it. And then my challengers and yes, anyone on that poll.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Last call. Hey, Rem. Oh my gosh, you got so big.
No.
What'd she say?
Mom says her last call.
All right, everyone. Ashley, thank you so much. Whatever Ashley sends me, I'll post in the team page and I'll post the recording. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks, Ash.
Bye, guys.
Bye.